Hi guys, end of the week, it's Friday. What are we doing? In the property market, it's interesting. We're watching the news very closely to see, what are the experts actually saying about the economy and where house prices are going to go. It's been really interesting because I think I've been mirroring a little bit what I've been saying. 6 months ago, I was saying, look, it's going to be a big crash. Then they extended the furlough, and that was good. Then they released the stamp duty. That's been great. But what's coming up? So, again, what we're seeing is that unemployment is rising. Furlough is going to stop. So it looks like it. I don't know what else they're going to be able to do. Be a lot more unemployed people. That means that people won't be able to pay their mortgages. They will have to move out because remember, if you're in a rented property and you lose your job, the government will pick up that to a certain amount. And so that might be, where people want to go. They go into rented accommodation, especially if they're unemployed, because it's paid by the government to a certain amount. But where people have been working and they buy their home, once they got a mortgage, there's no relief or help from the government on that. And that's just the way it is. So with high unemployment, there will be more people wanting to sell. On top of that, stamp duty looks like it's going to finish. I thought they might extend it on 31st of March. That does have an impact in the way that should slow this rapid acceleration of people trying to buy before the 31st of March. It's a very interesting one, really, and that is because talking to my friends and people in finance as well, we're definitely hearing that a lot of properties are falling out of bed. So chains are breaking, delays are happening. That means that the people who want to take advantage of the stamp duty are not going to be able to do it. So let's just look at that. The stamp duty saving, whether you're an investor or private single residence with one property, the saving maximum is £15,000, and that hits in at £500,000 mark. So that means if you've only got one property, you're going to move and buy £500,000, you're going to save £15,000 on stamp duty. If you're an investor and you're buying an investment property at £500,000, you will save £15,000. You'll have £15,000 to pay because it's always that extra 3% on top. So if chains are breaking and things are stalling, that means whoever is trying to buy with that discount is now going to have to look and finance in cash an extra £15,000 to buy that house, or whatever it's going to be, 5,000, 10,000, whatever that stamp duty is going to be. And that's going to put people at risk. It's going to put people under pressure. And in many cases, they won't be able to buy, and they're going to be pulling out of the deal. We're already hearing that is starting to happen through estate agents, through finances, through solicitors I'm talking to. And that's going to have an impact on house prices. And we will start to see that house prices will start to fall. Now, the experts which I've been reading about and trying to keep a gauge on things, what's happening. First of all, Rick Svers, they did a report which was commissioned by Morgan Stanley. That, I think, in the north is the biggest drop. They're sort of devaluing properties up to about 12%, depending on exactly where they are. And the rest of the country is sort of 5%, except for London. London is its own market. They have to do that on a bespoke thing, because you can't put Belgravia with Neasden. You just can't. So there's going to be different ratios. So in Belgravia, normally that will fall by at least 20%. Neasden might fall by 5, 6, 7%. Who knows? So London is a very different kettle of fish. I can tell you, in Lincoln, we're seeing it starting to just stall. I think some of it just starting to dip in prices now. In Cambridge, it's still going up, and we're still saying that the values are holding. There is a sort of a little bit of a stalling. There has been, I would say, over the last month or so, a stalling of volume of properties coming in, available properties which have the potential to make money on. But that's very much because they're being snapped up very quickly. I think there's going to see a lot more. The experts are saying that we will see this crash come next year, beginning of next year. They think it's going to just go along because everyone's quite enthusiastic. The lenders are still lending, we're mortgaging, giving mortgages out. Why? Because the vaccine's there's confidence in the market, and we will go. But will we get this slide? I think we will. I don't think we can avoid it. So if you're thinking of investing in a property, still do it. I still buy now. I don't mind the fact we're going to lose 5, even 10%. Why? Because when you're buying property, you've got to look at it in a logical way. What I do is I buy and I add value, significant value. So I was showing a deal that I'm doing down in Cambridge. It's going to make over 37% profit. So even if I drop 10% and it's now 27%, I can still refinance and get all of my money back out. So there's ways of doing it, and don't wait. I know that some investors are thinking, look, I'm just going to wait until I get to that place where it's really cheap and I'll buy then. That's not a good place to be. Buy now, look now.